Good morning, guys. Well, crap. Now you can see why I don't sit at my desk at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's actually about 8:40, and this is exactly what happens every single day. Let's move. That's a little bit better. So I'm getting a bright and early start to the morning. Duncan had to get to school first thing this morning, so Christina took him while I watched after the little one. Ginger had to have a quick trip to the groomer. But we're up, we're dressed, we're clean, we're getting ready to go. Ellis has a doctor's appointment first thing this morning, and I am feeling a bit rough this morning. Unfortunately, did not get quite enough sleep. After I finished the vlog up last night, I was awake entirely too late. As I mentioned, and I'm going to go ahead and go in a programming direction here, so feel free to skip ahead if you don't like this stuff. But as I mentioned in a previous vlog, I use a Ruby script to do all of my XDA news type stuff. I put all of the stuff in my RSS feed readers. Then I run this Ruby script that parses through those feeds, pulls out all the information, puts it into a legible script so that I can take that bare bones skeleton of a script and then write it into a readable document that I can read on camera and make videos from. Well, with the idea of wanting to move in the direction of doing tech news videos on my main channel as well, same type of thing, pulling in RSS feeds and then parsing them into a script, I thought, well, maybe I can make this a little bit easier on me in the long run and do screenshots as well. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. I've tried to do this for a long time and just haven't been able to do it. So I decided to hammer away at it last night, and I was up, like I said, entirely too late doing that. And what I discovered in trying to do it is that websites suck. Let me sort of correct that. The state of the web as it is right now kinda sucks. There's a Ruby library called WebShot that essentially takes Phantom JS, Phantom JavaScript, wraps it up in Ruby and says, run this and do a screenshot. And I attempted to do that against XDA's website, and it per screenshot takes like 15 seconds. Normally when I run my little script to generate everything, for let's say 20 stories, it takes like 5 seconds or less. But when I added in all the screenshotting stuff, because it was fighting its way through all of the JavaScript and all of the ads and all of the just nastiness that comes along with all of that, instead of taking 5 seconds to do 20 stories, it was taking I think it was going to take in the neighborhood of about 4 to 5 minutes. I pulled out all of the Ruby library and just started shelling out to the Phantom JS calls themselves, and that did take a little bit of the overhead off of it, so instead of taking like 4 or 5 minutes, it now takes like 2.5 minutes, but still, that's 2.5 minutes where it was taking me like 5 seconds. And by 5 seconds, I mean literally less than 5 seconds, because I would double click on the little script, it would generate everything, it's just pulling down text, and then it was done. But it is understandable that because it's doing so much more, it's pulling screenshots, it does have to make all of these web calls, it's gonna take a little while longer. But the problem is, yes, it took a long time for it to do XDA, but then I decided to try it on just general tech sites. So The Verge, Engadget, Ars Technica, Geek.com, Techno Buffalo, all of these tech sites that I frequent, and their ads are so invasive. Like The Verge, one of the articles that it pulled from The Verge had an ad that literally took up 3/4 of the page. One big giant block ad for, I think it was a MasterCard or something. And I had to throw it all away. I had to completely start over and look for other ways to do it. Geek.com had a big entire page overlay ad, blocked out all of the content. And you know, one of the answers to that is just stop frequenting those sites. But The Verge, you can't just throw The Verge out the window. It is one of the biggest tech sites on the planet, and it has so much exclusive content. I have to at least have some of their content if I'm going to do this kind of thing. So that got me looking into other methods of doing it, and one of the ones that I've sort of settled upon is called Selenium WebDriver. I was familiar with Selenium from my time at Lexmark because the testers at Lexmark were using Selenium as a part of their testing process, because they could automate tests and say, open up a Firefox browser and do this, and this. Open up a Chrome browser and do these list of things. So I figured out last night, and this is what took me so long, I figured out a way to open up a browser, maximize that browser, and then navigate to a page, take a screenshot of that page, and I could do it perfectly fine using Chrome. The problem is, like I said before, you had all of those nasty, nasty ads on top of it. So I decided to go ahead and try to load the AdBlock extension on top of it. Well, I could not get it to load for Chrome, but I was able to get it to load for Firefox. But if I load Firefox, when I take the screenshot, it takes a screenshot of the entirety of the page, which makes it unreliable. So that's sort of where I left it last night. I can either have Chrome, where I have unusable content, or I can have Firefox, where I have entirely too much, but it is ad blocked. I think I'll end up using the Firefox thing in the long term. I just have to figure out how to get it to fit within the viewport and only take a screenshot of that viewport. And I've been going on for about 6 minutes about programming stuff. I may put a time code or something at the beginning so you can jump to here, wrapping things up there. I'm adding the screenshot ability to my little script so that when I want to do a tech news video or a XDA news video, all I have to do is click a button. I have it that it can take screenshots. It's not finished yet. working on it. But at this time, Ellis is having a little bit of breakfast, and then we're going to be heading out the door to take him to the doctor, so I'm going to have to switch cameras. Well, we've made it. Time for little man to have his checkup.
He's sleeping.
He's completely zonked out. But that happens. That was pretty quick and pretty painless, except for he spit up and peed everywhere, but doctor said he's completely normal, so that's great. And he's back up to his birth weight, so he's at the point where he's healthy, he's stable, they're happy, all good. Anywhere else you need to go?
Yeah.
All of the places.
Yes. We're in Lexington.
Lexington. Yeah, we
so.
might as well go do stuff now.
Yeah.
So of course, while we are out and about in Lexington, time to hit up the mall, which means stroller time. And look at that, strolling and being all fancy. It's the first time bringing the stroller out with him.
Yep.
First time we've had it out of storage in 6 years or so.
Probably.
Less than that.
Yeah,
anyway.
Duncan probably sat in, so he was close too.
Duncan's had it for a while. And he is just snoozing away. I chose wisely. Or poorly. It's really hard to decide. Deliciously. That's what I chose. Copious amounts of shopping completed. There wasn't that much shopping.
No.
A little bit of time in the maternity store. A little bit of time, have to say it, in the Apple store. Just going in to see what's available. I don't think I'd ever actually put hands on the new iPhones. And interesting, to say the least. The two sizes. One is smaller than I'm used to. One is quite a bit bigger than I'm used to. I guess just a weird little change of pace. And kind of weird to think that, I mean, the way things are going, it's potential, it's possible I could end up with an iPhone in the near future. Maybe not as a daily driver, but as a device to play with and test. She liked the pink one. She said she wouldn't want the pink one, but she liked it. Oh, don't you just love that feeling of filming stuff and not filming with audio? So mistakes were made there. But sort of the gist of what I was saying there is that we have returned home at this point, spent a little time in here with the little man just hanging out. Christina took off to get Ginger from the vet. They're home now. I say vet. We take Ginger to the vet for her grooming and all of the things they do for that. So they're back now and she's looking much better and appears to be feeling much better as a result, so that's great. Unfortunately, I have not spent any more time trying to figure out what was going on with my programming problem earlier. I'll continue to work on that little by little. I'm also going to be working on going to try to work on some day jobs type stuff. Although it is late enough in the afternoon at this point that I don't know how much I'm going to get done before Duncan gets off the bus, before, you know, the day ends and everything. It's already 2 o'clock or after, so I've got to go get him here in a little bit. However, this showed up in the mail. This is a 3-lens kit for cell phones from Impal. This is actually the second one I've actually seen from them. The first one was kind of a weird little 3-piece kit. It had kind of a crab claw pincher that it would fit over the phone and just grab on like that. This one looks like it's supposed to be more like I guess a clothespin where you pinch it open and it clamps on that way so it'll hold on a little bit better. But it's got a macro lens, a wide angle lens, and a fisheye lens. Not really sure how much I'll end up using that fisheye lens or even the macro lens for that matter. The wide angle lens is the one I was really interested in because for things like the Nexus 5X, it has an amazing 4K camera on it, but holding it like this, it's not terribly wide. You have to hold it really far out and then your audio is not going to be so great. So if you could hold it a little bit closer to you and still get good quality video and better audio from it being closer to you, that would be great. Maybe even put it on the LG G4 with that Rode microphone that I made a video about a little while back. Combine a wide angle lens with a Rode video mic, have it super close to your face with the front facing camera and be able to see everything that's going on and have really, really good audio because you're super close to the mic. That would be a really good mix. So I'm probably going to try that out when I do the video about this. Probably just do a very, very quick video about this when I have a few minutes. I do still have to make the XDA video for tonight. I'm probably just going to go ahead and use my script the way that I've got it because I do have it to a point where it will do the screenshots. It's the one for my own video that I do not have ready yet for the Twill video. So I'll probably do that one manually. I've been doing it manually all along, and actually this Shuttle Pro has made all the difference. That's something I mentioned in the earlier stuff I had to cut out that I didn't refilm yet, is this Shuttle Pro has actually made it so that I can almost edit entirely one-handed. I can't drag and drop the clips in with this, but I can, once the clips are in there, put them all into the timeline, use this to go forward and back, play, pause, cut, delete, and the way that Premiere Elements works, whatever it is stopped on is what you can delete. So for editing a vlog, this is pretty much a one-handed editing machine, which is really, really handy when you have a 2-week-old baby on your lap. You just reach over with one hand and do all of your manipulation of the little device, and I've got work emails coming in. That was a funny thing that happened while we were out. I got an email from work, and people don't know that you're not supposed to reply all. Anyway, I got a work email asking, for those of you who have MacBook Pros from the company, how many chargers do you have? We want all of our users to have at least 2 chargers. And I said, I've only got 1 charger for my Mac, and the cord on it was frayed. I got a really heavily used one when they gave me my MacBook Pro. So hopefully they'll be hooking me up with a brand new charger, maybe 2 brand new chargers, so that I could have one at the office and then one here at home, or have one here at home and one for when I travel. That one way or the other would be a great way to go. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to finish editing this video for the moment. I've just been sort of doing it as I've been filming it. Maybe look a little bit more into the screenshotting stuff. I'm sure that I can figure something out. It's the Firefox is going to be the best way to go, just because it is so easy to bring in the ad block plus stuff. Not that I really want to block the ads on the sites, but when the ads are so invasive and block out the actual content from being seen, there's no reason not to. And I guess technically the way that I have it working currently, where I get pretty much the right width, but I get a ridiculously long, full form of the article, I could just set it to where it automatically zooms in onto it and then maybe pan down the article while I'm talking about it. That's one way to work around it. I don't know. We're just gonna have to kind of see how it works out. It's been nice being back into this programming for fun, programming on the side kind of thing, because for so long, it's kind of like doing the Linux thing. For so long, I did Linux stuff as a personal, doing it all at home, doing it all myself kind of thing, and then I started doing it for a job. I stopped kind of wanting to do it at home. I started going into programming. I wanted to do it all at home. I was having fun doing it, behind the scenes kind of stuff. Then I got to start doing it for my job. I kind of stopped doing it so much at home. And it's only since I started this new job, actually, that I've started taking the time with my own personal things to bring programming more back into everyday life. But anyway, like I was saying, it's good to be getting back just into programming for fun. And even though it is frustrating, still having fun doing it. Thank you, Mr. UPS man. A box from GameStop has arrived. And in case you're curious, these are the ornaments that I ordered from GameStop. So we have the classic controller ornaments. I think you can see that. Yeah. As well as the Fallout 4 Vault Boy bobblehead. Not bobbleheads, but they're Vault Boy ornaments. Very cool. Better late than never, right? Hey, they're both home. Welcome, boogers. Got one that's had a haircut and one that needs one. Which one is which? One that is just still snoozing the day away. That one. Hey, he's asleep. Hey, he's awake. He heard me talking. Hello. Nope. Duncan's finally not sick, so he's able to interact with Ellis a little bit. Ellis is holding your finger. I say, don't pull his finger. He might toot on you.
Oh no.
Don't pull it, Ellis.
Is Duncan gonna toot?
Oh no. Oh no. Toot. Ellis don't care. Ellis is doing plenty of it himself, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
And it's food time, and looks like we're having a little chicken, and yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. I just don't do beans, but she likes beans, so that's good. And that's something he'll actually eat, so he can eat with us. I had to swap cameras quickly for a little while, because I'm doing a little bit of a time lapse. Really pretty sunset out, and somebody, can't remember who, suggested in the comments that I check out the time-lapse features on the G7, and it looks like it can do it. I mean, I know it can do it, I'm not familiar with how to do it, so we'll see. Well, I knew I would do it, and I did sort of do it. I did that time lapse earlier, and I kind of screwed it up. I'm still learning how to use this camera, very much so. So when I filmed it, I didn't check all of the settings, so it filmed in 4:3, which means the original, and you're not gonna be able to see it terribly well, but the original looked like this, where you have black bars on the side. And all of the original images were still on the camera, luckily. And they're all very, very high resolution images. So I was able to take all of those, plop them into Premiere Elements, and turn it into a proper 16:9 video that is actually 1080p, whereas this one is 1080p with black bars. So there's definitely a lesson to be learned there. Basically, set it to 16:9. After the fact, you can actually tell it what format and how many frames per second and everything you want it to do, but you do have to say ahead of time whether you want it to be 4:3 or 16:9. Good to know. And the other thing, watching it back, is that I probably should have set the focus ahead of time, just done manual focus That's sort of been the overarching theme of this G7 camera, is just set the focus and leave it alone. Don't change it. Don't leave it in auto anything, which I guess is probably the way that you're supposed to do time-lapse one way or the other. You're supposed to set the focus, have it wide open, let everything be in focus all the time, and just leave it that way. Or do a very shallow, I don't know. Anyway, what you probably saw in that clip was that it did change focus from time to time, like the tree went out of focus and then back in. Oh well, it's a thing that happened. It's a learning process. And it is already 6:20 p.m. and I do have all of my stories for XDA ready to go. I've gone ahead and run my little script. It's got all of my screenshots from earlier. Everything looks good, but I have to actually do the script now. And I've got my, I'm working on getting my twill stories ready to go. I don't know at this point if it's really feasible for me to do 2 videos tonight. I let the day get away from me. Between taking the baby to the doctor and taking Christina to the mall and doing everything else that happened the rest of the day, I let it all get away from me. So what I'll probably do is mention in the XDA video that there will be a video coming up over on my channel, and just have a link to my channel in the video description that says, check here for Jordan's news update kind of thing. Because it'll get done. It's probably not gonna happen tonight. Alright, the script is done for the XDA video, and let's see. I almost have all of my twill stories, my tech stories, my CES stories in order. I've just got like 4 more left. I'm trying to put them into sort of a logical order and grouping things together. I don't know if I'm actually going to script this one. It's just sort of a first one-off type video, and there's so much stuff to cover there. I may just pull out a tablet and do it really informal. Hey, by the way, here's my thoughts on blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Might even shoot it with this camera. I don't know. But I think at this point, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to hopefully try to go ahead and shoot the XDA video so I can get it over with, get it edited and uploaded and finished. And if I'm lucky, if I can get just a few minutes later, I can maybe be able to do the twill video tonight and get it up as well. We can do this. Hard work and motivation. We can do this. XDA video is shot, edited, and rendering at the moment. Looks like it's actually going to render decently fast. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 minutes, so that's pretty good. I did not film it at 4K. I probably should have, but oh well. I've gone ahead and got all of the stories organized for the twill video. Still trying to decide if I want to try to take the time to actually script it up or not. I could probably script it up pretty fast. And it's 8:40 right now. Duncan is in bed. Ellis is changed and ready for bed, though they're not headed up to bed quite yet. If I can script this up very, very quickly, I might actually be able to pull this off tonight. And I think this is going to be what I title the video. One thing that I have learned as a parent is to be a ninja dad. And what I mean by that is being able to do multiple things at the same time and have so many things going on in your brain all at once. As an example, when I was running Duncan through the shower earlier, there were a lot of fluid movements, doing this, turning on the shower, moving towels, moving washcloths, running to one place in the house and then back to the other end, thinking about the stuff from the twill video, thinking about stuff from the XDA video, contacting XDA to let them know the video is getting ready to become uploaded, talking to my contact there about the video I'm going to be making for my own channel, dealing with an issue related to one of the stories, just making sure that I'd said things correctly. And ninja dad is just sort of the term that I have coined for it. I know that it has nothing to do with being a dad, but it kind of feels that way. It's like a super mom, but not, because I'm not a mom. And super mom is a very special, unique thing. And it's only a state that I can really achieve when I've had enough caffeine. I'm just barely on the borderline of that. One more energy drink would have really shot me over the edge, but I would not be able to speak correctly. So there's a fine line. It's like on the scale of caffeine to ninja dadness, there's an area about this big where I'm actually ninja dad. Anything below that and I'm asleep. Anything above that and I'm hyperactive squirrel. So right now I think I am in ninja dad zone. So actually I'm gonna go ahead, while this is rendering, it's halfway done at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the twill script if I decide to do it that way. See if I can get that video done, because I would really love to have a URL that I could provide to them so that when the XDA video goes up, my video could also get some publicity out of it, because that would be really, really nice. Completely forgot to mention, I've actually already edited the vlog up to when I started talking to you all just a minute ago. So I've been, like I said, ultra productive. This is one of those really excellent productive days where the earlier part of the day really was not. I actually almost fell asleep as soon as we came back from the doctor's office. I sat down here in my chair, started working on stuff, and just kind of, yeah. But I managed to catch myself. I managed to put a little bit of caffeine in, not too much. Good dinner, good evening, productivity, ready to go. And so many things to do in so little time, but we can do this. Just got to push forward, just got to keep trying. It's done. It has been done. I filmed the video. It was like 19 minutes long, so I'm gonna have to edit it and see how much actually comes out of it. Definitely not what I wanted to do for a first video of this type, but it's done. Now to make it into an actual video. And the time is on the crunching. It's 9:40 p.m. Let's see if I can have this done by 10:30. I did it, it is done. I cut it. Like I said, I had 20 minutes of video. I had 26 stories or so, and I cut it down to 15 stories. So I cut out almost half of what I had originally intended. Not half, but whatever. But I took a 20-minute video, and now it's less than 10 minutes, which is kind of where I wanted to be for the first one. Realistically, for the weekly videos where there's not 50 billion stories coming in all the time, I would like for these kinds of videos to be 5 minutes or less, because that's the bite-sized chunks that people seem to really enjoy, and I think that's feasible. I think that's doable, especially if I can finally figure out the screenshotting thing. But again, if I keep it to few enough stories where I can still devote enough attention to it. The reason that this took 10 minutes was that for every story, for the most part, I went into some significant detail on my thoughts and opinions on it, why I thought it was interesting, why I liked it. That's what I really think that I'm going to be able to bring to the table here. I'm going to be able to show passion about the topics I'm talking about, tell why I think it's significant, why I think it's new and different and innovative. I'm excited about this. Thank you guys for this. Am I even in focus? I'm not in focus. I apologize entirely. I was completely out of focus there, but excitement, it's what it does. So the video is rendering right now. We are 35% rendered. Then I'm gonna finish editing and rendering the vlog, get the vlog uploaded, and I'm gonna try to get to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. The problem is gonna be uploading 2 videos at a time. I can make this happen. All I've really gotta do is get both of them started uploading, and I can have the link that I can send over to XDA so they can stick that into XDA's video for the morning. Schedule the 12 video to publish at like 7 a.m. or something early so that it'll be up before the XDA video is, or set it to just go public as soon as it's ready. I don't know. But I'm feeling really, really good about this. Thank you guys so much for all the support on this. Thank you for pushing me in that direction. There have been several of you that were really gung-ho about this, especially my contact over at XDA, which I guess he does watch these vlogs, so thank you for that. News videos is something that I've always been kind of passionate about, even though it is, at the end of the day, it is taking someone else's work and just rehashing it. It's also throwing my own spin and my own flair onto it and making it personal and making it my own, which is why I did it in the first place. So thank you for that. And I just broke 10,000 steps. Yes, good day. And actually, one thing that I did not talk about in my CES recap video on my channel that I just saw stories popping up about left, right, and center. The feds, the US Marshals, raided a booth at CES. Apparently the One Wheel, the company that makes an electronic skateboard with one wheel in the middle, there's a Chinese company that's making a knockoff of it, and this company is saying no, cease and desist, and US Marshals actually went into CES and shut them down. You guys heading to bed?
I'm trying to get him to go to sleep.
He looks so snoozy and dark. Good night, little dude. Go to sleep.
Please.
Please go to sleep. So I don't have to sit here and rock you for 2 hours. It's never been that long, but whatever. Night, night. And you know what, guys? For the sake of my time and my sanity and my body and my sanity, yes, it merits mentioning twice, I'm going to get the vlog rendered and uploaded. I've got everything else edited and done. I'm going to kick back and watch the last episode of Sky Factory with Captain Sparkles before heading to bed while I wait for everything to finish uploading. I've got the link over to XDA, so all is well on that front. XDA is going to get me their link. I have a blog post ready to go, so as soon as the video is done, at least uploaded and somewhat processed, I'll go ahead and make it public so it can be ready to go. This has been an absolutely amazing day, productivity-wise. I am so pleased with how it all turned out, and I hope you guys enjoy the video if you happen to be interested in watching it. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching these videos. Thank you for spending the day with me and my family and watching me ramble on and on and on and just be absolutely spastic. Thank you so much for your time and for your support. I definitely do appreciate it. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.